Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Morgan, and bid you all welcome back to to Dragon Age Origins. Last time we left off, we were on the cusp of something horrible. As you can see, a lot of folks out there, including Ser Cauthrien, who was, or still is at this point, Logain's lieutenant of sorts. She was the one with him when he betrayed all of Ferelden, as far as I'm concerned, at the Battle of Ostagar. We're about to see quite how complicit she is and all that, even though back then she seemed a little hesitant to follow his lead. Now she has just become another lapdog of sorts. It's a shame, really. So this part is it's an interesting choice set to give you, because you can try and fight her, but she is probably by far the most difficult opponent in this entire game. And if you fail to defeat her, it doesn't just give you a chance to reload and do it again. If you are defeated, you actually do not die, you get sent to prison. Same result if you decide to just surrender. So I'll show you how that works if we get defeated. Either way, I'm going to try to put up a fight, but I'm kind of going to deliberately, take a dive so we can see how that turns out. Because I think it works out a little bit differently if you were to surrender just wholesale. But we'll see what happens. For those who want to see how to defeat her, though, I did make a video on the side to kind of show that, and it is a very tough fight. She can pretty much wipe out anybody in my party in no less than 2 hits. So the most important thing is to make sure that she is constantly like on the ropes, never really gets a chance to hit a swing out. Everyone in my party has abilities that can stun. The problem is, being a boss, she doesn't get stunned for long. So I pretty much hit her, with dirty fighting, riposte. We got all the shield bashes and everything with Alistair. Morgan has horror, disorient, mind blast. The crushing prison does damage, but does not stop her. Force field is much more valuable for that, but even then, that hardly lasts any time at all. With wind, we don't have a whole lot besides Glyph of Paralysis, which works maybe for like 5 or 10 seconds. Petrified does not stop her. Stone Fist is good for knocking her over. The most important thing is never let her get hits on the mages, because she can effectively one-shot them. And mages are much more valuable for dealing with a crowd afterwards. So if you're wondering how to deal with a crowd, the most important thing is you have to get out of there. As everyone in there effectively are archers, and there's also a mage. And the mage is like an elite or lieutenant class, whichever one it is, I don't really remember. But all of those guys pretty much just lay into you with scatter shots and everything to just keep you stunned, do shitloads of damage, like just in no time flat. So you cannot try and take the fight in that room. Everybody, the moment the fight starts, you have to run them over into that room. I had Morgan stay just long enough to hit Cauthrien with a force field spell, but that seemed a bit superfluous, and she shrugs it off almost immediately. So it barely buys you any time and just puts Morgan in harm's way for too long. The annoying part is that if you do not guide the characters to pretty much every corner, every doorway one at a time, for some reason they just kind of reject your command to go over there and just suddenly start engaging everybody, which really pisses me off. Last person through the door should shut it, just to try and block arrows, anyone that's kind of about to be fired. Very helpful. But once you are out of sight of the archers, almost none of them follow you. There's maybe 2 or 3 guys who follow you through the door. One of the things I was doing was I basically had my rogue with her back to the door, standing right there, and an archer would come and stop here. Every time he tried to open the door, I would just smack it and shut it again. Kept them out of fight for the most part, while we were laying into Cauthrien with everything we could do to slow her down. So yeah, that's the gist of that. I'm probably playing it sped up here. Maybe I'll put it unsped up at the end so you can see front to back how I did it, including the initial failure, because it was very tough. Yeah, so let's just let's just get on with it and face our fate.
Warden, in the name of the Regent, I am placing you under arrest for the murder of Rendon Howe and his men-at-arms. Surrender, and you may be shown mercy.
I am here to free Honora, who is held captive.
Don't be ridiculous. The Queen isn't being held prisoner here or anywhere else. Her father would never stand for such a thing.
She's right here. Tell her, Honora.
What?
Ser Cauthrien! Praise the Maker you're here. This brigand tried to kidnap me.
You double-crossing bitch.
Unbelievable. Bring them down. Loghain wants the Warden, dead or alive.
Oh, we'll see about that. You'll get what you want. So I'm not really trying that hard. Just to really show you how quickly you can go down here, I'm just gonna have everyone do their own thing.
Oh my God.
Yep, that's that.
Eamon, I may have done a terrible thing.
Yeah, no shit.
Barely met, and already she betrays us. She and my mother would get along famously.
What in Andraste's name has happened? Are you all right?
The wardens have been captured.
Oh, but she leaves out the best part of this tale. The part where she threw us all at Loghain's henchmen and ran.
What? How could this happen?
Never mind that. The question is how to free her.
Surely you mean them, Your Highness. We need Alistair too.
Yes, of course, I meant Alistair too. Cauthrien will take her to Fort Drakon. Getting in will be no small feat.
Oh, you're awake. I was starting to worry.
Are you alright?
I've been worse. I'll be better still when we get out of here.
Yeah, others are coming, don't worry.
Who do you think will come?
So this is the most interesting part. You get to choose 2 party members to come break you out of prison, and I don't remember what the ideal combination is. I think for some reason Oghren might be able to bluff his way through more of it, and I think Dog actually is probably his best counterpart. I really don't remember. When I did this on my sort of test run, I did it with Sten and Morrigan, and Morrigan had some good bluffs, but I don't know. I'll just go with kind of a random combination. We'll see what happens.
Oh, I wish I could see that. One person assaulting Fort Drakon all alone. I hope you're right.
So for some reason, Sten's sword started to phase into being right behind Alistair. So you notice they're in some interesting garb here, but still have their very intimidating looking weapons. So I guess I'll have Sten is not much of a talker. I'll have Oghren take the lead here. We'll see what we've got going on.
And what are you supposed to be?
We're circus performers. Yeah, go ahead, do the obligatory dwarf joke. Oh, wait. Not like I've got anything better to do.
Circus performers? What do you do exactly?
We're a comedy act, of course. Taryn Loghain hired us. Said morale was bad here.
Oh. Your giant friend here doesn't talk much, does he?
He's saving it up for our act. He's very serious about comedy.
Deadly.
Well, wait over there. I'll get the captain. Never said anything about any circus freaks.
That captain better get here soon. These clown pants are riding up like nobody's business.
That was far more information than I needed.
All right, what's this about?
My partner and I are performers. The Regent hired us, said morale was low.
You're performers, are you? What's your act?
Our act? The big guy here sings and dances while I juggle swords.
On fire.
Right, on fire.
Yes, well, that's no doubt fascinating. I think we'll pass. Be on your way.
Sod it. Get him!
Okay, so this is a lousy combination.
Looks like we're in.
Why are you punching? You have swords. Alright, maybe we'll try something different.
Oh, I wish I could see that. One person assaulting Fort Drakon.
So I'm just going with the combination I used before, especially because it allows Sten to keep his armor when things go south.
State your business.
We have a delivery for your fort from the Weaver Craft Hall.
I wasn't told about anything being shipped in today.
That is hardly my concern, is it? Now go get whoever is in charge, like a good little boy.
Fine. Wait over there. I'll get the captain.
Fate truly has a sense of humor. That tale should have fooled no one.
They're human.
And humans are fools.
Good. We do agree on something.
All right, what's this about?
We have a delivery for the fort.
I haven't been notified about any delivery.
You wish to refuse it? Fine. But you must speak with the Weaver Craft Hall. I will not take it back to them for you.
Fine, fine. Take it to the main hall.
Alright, so already we've gotten further than we did before. So I'm gonna quick save here. Actually, it's not this bit, is it? If you have Sten in your party, whatever you do, do not go talk to this woman.
Sacrifice, pray for us. Sing our name. Oh, I'm sorry. I was... Merciful Andraste. What is that?
Charming reception.
Make us, save us. We're under attack by giants.
So for some reason, that just leads to an instant attack by everybody else, even though a senile old woman just getting upset by a particularly tall gentleman should not be cause for an entire group to suddenly see us as hostile.
I think that's a new record, even for an Isle of Denerim. Didn't he only hold
We
the
need a
title
plan
for 10
here.
days?
Are we being subtle now? I couldn't tell.
So I think if you stand here and listen long enough, there's some banter about how ridiculous it is that there's a bunch of giant ballista just in this hall here, all facing random directions. I mean, sure, it looks like they're on some kind of turnstiles. You can, you know, rotate them to face the enemy, but these are long-distance siege weapons. They're not made to defend a hallway. But, well, they'll serve our needs here, even though everyone can clearly see us on this balcony. We can get away with doing something as stupid as this. Everybody go look at the statue that just got impaled by a bolt. We could wipe the rest of them out while we're at it. In fact, I wonder if we can. I never tried it. So they're all just chilling over there. I can surely hit another one. I'm just making gestures at it. Nope. I'm just gonna keep hitting the same statue and nobody's gonna notice. Alright, so that is our subtle approach, I guess. Let's go ahead and get him a level up. We're gonna need it here. So unfortunately, I don't know if there's any way you can get... That sounds good. I don't know if there's any way you can get... Any more dexterity. Let's go ahead and get that. I don't really want disengage. Perfect strike. I don't even know what that does, but I guess we'll work for it. Yeah, fuck it. Later. Well, that was a very interesting giggle. Yeah, so I don't know if there's any way you can get to the end without having to fight, because as soon as we go through this door, Morrigan just kind of gives up on any attempts at being cautious. Of course, just getting stunned like a motherfucker. Alrighty.
Very well.
I don't think that makes the rest of the place hostile yet. Yeah, see, they're all still just hanging out. But we're not heading back there this soon anyway. If I'm not mistaken, we do end up having to fight our way out with the whole crew no matter what. So this Fort Drakon, I guess, is supposed to be somewhat notorious as a place for torture and interrogation and all that good stuff. I don't know, it just looks like any old dang castle. I don't know what's so special about it. So as long as your party is well equipped, well, that was weird. The music just came in like, whoa! As long as your party is, your two companions are well equipped, fighting through is not difficult. I'm glad that the stupid circus idea lets you keep your weapons, but lacking armor makes it a real pain. I think you can just put it back on as soon as the fight starts, but
I see.
It does just make it a little more annoying.
I shall do it.
Alrighty, not the most well-defended prison. Knock, knock.
Very well. Come quickly, Warden, though I doubt you are inclined to linger.
The irony of this moment is not lost on me.
Not really sure what that's supposed to mean. I mean, what? Oh, I get it, because we freed him from a cage before. I get you, Sten. Oh, such a dry sense of wit you have. So, whoever you pick gets a fairly significant disposition boost. So I guess it is pretty wise to do it. Probably pretty wise to do it with any party members who are not
This should be easy enough.
significantly inclined towards you. It gets you a little more out of it. So if you want, you can clean house as you walk through here. I don't remember there being any particularly good treasure. Well, I mean, it's not... None of them are tough fights, so we might as well take a look. If there is nothing interesting, then I will simply meet you on the other side. What's with all these bangs and... Could you cool it? Alright, let's see what we got. We got one fool just standing there.
Let's get started.
Give him a pop. And I missed. Intruders! Didn't stand a chance. Boy, it's almost like if you, you know, had all your defenses kind of prepared, you wouldn't have to worry about any of this crap. Instead, you got all these people spread out. Nobody defending any kind of checkpoints, other than those idiots at the front who let us through. Almost no fuss. Let's see what Colonel's got. Oh, okay, so maybe we do need to wipe him out just so we can get out front. We probably could have picked the lock anyway, but... it are what it is. So all those idiots who are crowding the broken statues seem to have moved on. Guess they decided that none of this was worth their trouble. Look at all them... you know, like, jogging over here like machines. The nun is still there. Wonder what she has to say.
Oh, I'm.
He's not even in the room.
Save us! We're under attack by giants.
Warden senses tingling.
He wasn't even in the room. How'd you see him?
Blast!
Blast. Okay, we got another key off of these idiots. Anything good in here? Dragon scale armor. Looked pretty plain Jane. I don't think we're... yeah, there really isn't a whole lot of value here. Nothing but gray garbage. So, let's fuck out of here. Get back to... Old Arl Eamon. Alright, well, we made it out.
Maker's breath. It's good to see you in one piece, my friend.
Indeed. After your rather alarming lack of subtlety, I feared the worst for you. I prayed for your safe return.
That's so sweet. It almost makes me want to kill you less.
Well, what did you expect me to do? You announced me to my father's most trusted lackey. Did the purpose of my disguise entirely escape you? I barely managed to slip away from her when we reached the palace. I am hoping that, despite our unfortunate beginning, we can still work together. Will you hear me out?
You asked for our help for a reason.
We will need to work together, and quickly. My father has gone mad. I didn't believe it at first, but he is gripped by a paranoia so severe it prevents him from seeing sense. He saw me as a threat, yet even now I'm certain he will be telling the nobles you are dangerous murderers that have kidnapped and mind-controlled me. He may even believe it.
Is there no way to reason with him?
I thought so. I'd hoped so. Howe's influence was strong. His death can only be a good thing, but even that will not be enough. I know my father, and he is committed to his course. He will see this through, no matter what. You will need ammunition come the Landsmeet, and I can help you in that regard. You have only just arrived in the city, so perhaps you are unaware of some recent events.
We've been in and out of this city for years.
Since Ostagar. Many people here are angry or grieving. Strangely, the unrest is worst in the alienage. Few elves accompanied the army. They should have little reason to be upset, which means that How and my father must have given them reason. I don't know what is happening there, but I am certain my father has his hands in it.
A useful lead, Honora, but you could have sent this information with your maid.
That is true. I feared for my safety as How's prisoner. But to tell the truth, I sent Elena to you because I hoped we might join forces. You need that evidence for the Landsmeet, but you also need a stronger candidate for the throne. You need me.
Sounds more like you need us.
I have no doubt Alistair is biddable enough, and decent, but even with his blood, he is no king. You think only I can see it? Not only that, Alistair is a Grey Warden. It will look like you are trying to put a Grey Warden on the throne, despite your claims. I am a neutral party, and I am already queen.
Honora, you are indeed Kaelin's widow, but...
I am the daughter of Ferelden's greatest general. Who do you think truly ruled this nation for the last 5 years? Kaelin. I am what this country needs, not an untrained king who does not even want the throne. I can help you stop my father. Consider what I have said. For now, I think I will retire to my room. Warden, when you have a moment, I ask that you speak to me in private.
Well, she's quite spirited. I remember when Loghain first brought her to Denerim. Poor Galen was a good boy, but Honora was always 2 steps ahead. Had him jumping when she snapped since the first time she batted her eyelashes. I cannot help thinking she may be trouble, but we should keep her close, all the same.
Loghain's the only trouble I care about.
Loghain is the problem at hand, yes. We need to do all we can to erode his support before we call the Landsmeet.
What do you think he's doing in the alienage?
Maker knows what that man is capable of now.
What do you think of Nora's trouble?
This is an alliance of convenience. For the moment, we are united against Loghain. Be careful how much trust you place in her. I do not for a moment think Honora means to give up her power easily. Still, I would rather have her where we can watch her than actively working for Loghain.
But aren't we planning to depose her?
Honora was a capable administrator for Kaelin's lands, but she has not a drop of royal blood. We did not fight the Orlesians all those years just to lose our royal line in a single generation. Not when there's a surviving son of the blood.
Maybe Alistair should marry Honora.
Are you serious? No, never mind. I don't even want to hear the rest of this. You two just keep talking about me. I'm going to stand over here with my fingers in my ears.
That would certainly solve a lot of problems, and put forth the strongest argument before the Landsmeet to remove Loghain from power. With Therin blood on the throne, and Honora's wisdom and popularity, Ferelden could present the most united front against the Blight. Unfortunately, the marriage would never happen, unless they both agreed to it. And I've seen the way Alistair looks at you.
Why is it so important to put Merrick's son on the throne?
Ferelden was first united by Calenhad, the Silver Knight. For 400 years, his descendants have ruled Ferelden. That was the heritage we preserved from the Orlesians. And it is the heritage I will fight for as long as one of Calenhad's descendants still lives. Without that to unite us, we could scatter back to warring Terniers.
Alistair doesn't know the first thing about being king.
No, I don't, which I've told both of you on many occasions. If Honora's turned against Loghain, I say let her keep the crown.
I thought you weren't listening.
Better on her anyway.
You're both wrong. With a few months of experience, Alistair will make a fine king. He knows how to lead troops to defend his land. He knows how to stand and fight for justice. He knows how to show compassion to those less fortunate, and how to trust to the Maker's guidance to know right from wrong. And he knows who to turn to for aid, should that training fail him. He will be fine. We certainly have a great deal to plan. Of course, if I might make a suggestion, go speak with Honora. She will either be a powerful ally or a powerful enemy, and the sooner we know which she is, the better.
Indeed. So this is where things get interesting. If you work up a romance with Alistair, it can make this more complicated, but I think the gist of it is you either get him to agree to marry Honora and dump you, essentially, or after you've hardened his personality, you can kind of agree to, for him to keep you as a side chick, essentially. And Honora, of course, doesn't have a problem with it because she doesn't give two shits about him one way or another. Anything that kind of keeps him out of her way, if they two were married, I think is fine with her. But I think you have to be gentle about this because it's difficult to get Alistair to agree to it. Especially if his favorability towards you is low, which, we're fine.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. Ask away.
I have some questions.
Of course.
Why do you keep your birthright a secret?
You never asked?
That's a cheap answer.
All right. If you want the full explanation, I'll give it to you. The thing is, I'm used to not telling anyone who didn't already know. It was always a secret. Even Duncan was the only Grey Warden who knew. And then after the battle, when I should have told you, I don't know, it seemed like it was too late by then. How do you just tell someone that?
It's come up, Alistair. You've been avoiding it.
Yes, well, I suppose part of me kind of liked you not knowing.
Why? What happens when people find out?
They treat me differently. I become the bastard prince to them, instead of just Alistair. I know that must sound stupid to you, but I hate that it shaped my entire life. I never wanted it, and I certainly don't want to be king. The very idea of it terrifies me.
Doesn't sound stupid at all.
For all the good it does me, my blood seems certain to haunt me no matter what I do. And now Arleman plans to put me forward as the heir. It never ends, does it? For what it's worth, I'm sorry for not telling you sooner. I guess I was just hoping that you would like me for who I am. It was a dumb thing to do.
Apology accepted.
I guess it's kind of a relief that you know now. Let's go.
Alright, well, we can't talk to him about any of that stuff now. I thought that might have been a roundabout way to open up the discussion, but I think we have to talk to Honora first.
Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. I realize that my actions at Howe's estate may not have painted me in the best light. For that, I apologize and hope that we can start again. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne.
Why should I support you?
For years, I have ruled this kingdom as Caelin's queen. As much as they loved Caelin, all of the Banon knew this to be so. Caelin was a good man, but what is needed now is not another good man, but a good ruler. I sent Alina here not solely because I thought I needed help, but because I saw an opportunity for us both. I need your support, Warden, and you will need mine.
Are you proposing an alliance?
That is exactly what I am proposing. When the time comes, you support my bid in the Landsmeet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Ferelden, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot.
I think I would need more than just your support.
Once I am queen, I will be in a position to grant you whatever you wish. And I shall. Alistair might promise you the same, I suppose. But I would ask which is better. The gratitude of a weak king, or of a strong queen. And even if it is not for you, think of what I could do for the Grey Wardens. Think of what I could do for your people. I trust I have made my point.
Well, in reality, Alistair's done a hell of a lot for all of those parties you just mentioned, so fuck off. Why not simply marry Alistair, the best of both worlds?
Ignoring that the man looks so much like Caelin, my recently dead husband, if you'll recall, my main fear is that he might govern like Caelin as well. And are you so truly eager to pawn the lad off on me anyway? I rather got the sense that you two might be.
It's not your... Have you never heard of a political marriage?
That is how my own marriage to Caelin began. It still became more, in time. This doesn't bother you.
It's not your concern.
I see. So be it then. Alistair does have Therin blood. It is the one thing I do not have, truth be told. A union might be considered a compromise, but... is this something Alistair even desires?
I think I could convince him.
Let me say this. If Alistair is willing to stand back and allow me to continue governing the nation, then I would be willing to have him as my king. It is my understanding that governing does not appeal to him anyhow. If that is so, this is a compromise I can live with.
I will speak to him then.
Do so. I will be interested to hear what he has to say.
So yeah. Convincing her is not that difficult. She has no, disposition meet her at all anyway, so... And there's no persuasion checks for her, which is interesting. Which I guess is fair, because if you're not investing in persuasive abilities, and this is the route you want to go, it would suck to be locked out of it.
So I'm guessing someone told Honora I was planning to steal her throne. She has a nasty glare. She wants to be queen. I get it. I don't trust her any more than her father, but I get it.
She wants my support in the Landsmeet.
Oh, smart. I wouldn't be surprised if that's why she arranged to be here to begin with. They say that Honora is smart, determined. She's supposedly the one who's really ruled here, not Kaelin. She's her father's daughter. Me? I say that's where the problem lies. People like her and her father always think they're the only ones who can fix things. So everyone should just stay out of their way. What do you think? When the Landsmeet comes, you might even have a say.
I think you should marry Honora.
Marry her? As in marriage, as in be her husband? You've spoken to her about this? You did, didn't you? Why would you do that? What about us?
Doesn't have to change anything.
I suppose so. It just seems strange that you should be the one to bring this up. Why do you think I should do this then? Tell me.
Tricky one. So yeah, with Alistair we do need a persuasion check, and I forget which one works best. Think this will be the best compromise for peace?
Compromise? Yes, I suppose the Landsmeet would like the sound of that. Alright, you've convinced me. If it comes to that,
I even saw him
I'll
shudder
agree
there.
to marry her. Make her help us all. Go and tell her, if you think it's a good idea. Me? I think I need a drink. Or 10.
Alright, so he does take a major shot to, or a pretty significant shot to his approval. But we're still in, I don't know if there's anything above a door, but we still kept him in that threshold. 70% I think is where the highest limit of like their special ability thing is, whatever it's called. Actually, don't remember where it shows up. I think it only shows up in the level up menu. Or no, it's under skills, isn't it? Yeah, Constitution. So, ooh. He actually lost some, so maybe it didn't work. Or maybe it didn't stick. I'm gonna have to try and cheer him up somehow.
Well, have you spoken to my lucky betrothed yet? Or will we be reduced to passing notes?
He's agreed to your terms.
He has? I wasn't expecting that, to tell you the truth. To marry Kaelin's brother. Well, I suppose stranger things have happened. If it will truly help matters... Is this it then? I agree to marry Alistair to retain my throne, and in exchange I give you my support. If not, then tell me now.
Marry Alistair and you have my support.
Done. So, we have a deal, Warden. I trust you'll keep your end of the bargain. Now, I suppose, comes the task of dealing with my father. That will be no small feat, of course, but I am certain you already know this. I imagine you have much to do. Is there anything else you needed from me?
Do you need anything?
No. And while I know your concern is hardly disinterested, still, thank you.
Alright, well, that's it. All convincing has been convinced. So, yeah. I think I'll wrap it up here. We'll finish off this episode with an uncut clip of the fight with Cauthrien, so you can see, well, how I managed to deal with that. Might be even better ways, but I just find that keeping her on the ropes, like I said, is the best way to make sure she does not decimate your party. If you can do it while even keeping all your parties standing, you really have my applause, because I couldn't pull that off by any means. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very kindly for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch, subscribe to my stream archive channel. Links in the description below. We will see you all next time. Have a wonderful night.
Surrender, and you may be shown mercy. Don't be ridiculous. The Queen isn't being held prisoner here or any... What?
Ser Cauthrien! Praise the make...
Any...
Let's finish this.
I shall do it. As you wish. I see. Very nice.
Weapons at the ready! No mercy! Less fighting, more... Dying, blast you!
Another back.
You'll never know what hit him!
All right, that's
Nothing but a fight.
Right.
Armed and dangerous, ready for action!
As you
I'm
wish.
going to take a nap.
Now we go into battle. Let's get started. A little frantic. Ha! I can see why. So tired.
Let us end this. As you say. As you say.
Look at this mess! I love it! Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a chance?
I shall do so.
Weapons at the ready! Come now, defend yourself! On it.
Hurry. Orders? I shall...
Surrender. Bring... Warden sensing.
Yes?
They'll never know what hit him! Armed and dangerous, ready for... action.
Very well.
Here.
Weapons at the ready!
This should be easy enough.
Victory shall be mine!
So be
Help.
correctly.
Will gladly less fighting, more dying, blast you! You had it coming! Armed and dangerous, ready for action!
Watch it! are not
Hurry.
alone.
Really?
Weapons at the ready!
Ready. I am done with that one. I shall do it.